Hey everybody, welcome to Still City Fandom. It's some random Tuesday on some random fucking September, and me and Justin are talking. So we must be
Talkin Anime.
That's right. Your favorite show that it's been gone for a little while because we're all confused. We don't have regular arcs to watch anymore. All that weird shit.
No, it's all just been one big Wano arc.
Yeah, it is. It's weird. It's not like it was weird. It was easy to break down the other arcs because it was like, we would do and maybe what I think might happen is we go off of the official like OnePieceFandom.com is where I look at it. So it'll take like the Whole Cake Saga and it'll say, all right, there's a Zoe arc, there's a Whole Cake Island arc. Then there's the Levely arc is what they refer to in there. Dressrosa, they had like Punk Hazard and things like that. That's kind of how we've been looking at these.
Yeah.
With this one, I think because we finally caught up and it hasn't completed yet. I think that's why they haven't officially broke it down, because you could see that there could be like some breakdowns in here.
Yeah.
The prison thing could be an arc.
Yeah. Well, I would include the prison stuff in just like the beginning of it would be like the first arc in Wano.
Yeah.
Because like Luffy gets there and he meets Otama, and she's really nice to him, and he decides to try and pay her back. Well, the first thing in Wano is them trying to make it up the waterfall.
Yeah, but all that should probably. I mean, there's a lot of episodes here.
There is. It's like 110 episodes that are just Wano stuff.
So where we're currently at now is, you can praise Justin because he's finally caught me. So he's no longer living in the past or anything like that. We're together now, and we are on 1012.
Yes.
So we have watched probably Act 1 and Act 2 of Wano already.
I think so.
They do put acts in there sometimes, so we've completed that. We got through the flashback about Kozuki Oden, which we did a separate podcast about that, which people really liked. That did really well. And now we're just in a sort of weird world where I know the rest of the internet is freaking out over Fifth Gear, Gear 5, all this stuff, but we're not there yet. And it may take us another year before we even get there. I don't know.
I saw if they don't slow down, if they keep going at the pace that they've been going for the last, I want to say, year, based on this Reddit post that I saw, their prediction is we're going to get what episodes are current in the sub, we will get in the dub, like towards the end of December, early January. The prediction is we could actually possibly get Gear 5 for Christmas.
I still don't see how that's possible.
Because we're only like 50 episodes behind.
But we're getting them in increments of, we've been getting them. Now you were just catching up, but like ever since I got to the Odin stuff, it's been dropping in episodes of 12.
Yes.
So it's 12 more. They go to the Microsoft store, and then we finally get them available to everyone else. So the last time they dropped was, I think, the beginning of August, or maybe mid-August was the last time I saw a drop. I could be wrong on that. It's going to take way too long to probably look this up. I just look off Toei's page because they like announce it, but they post every day, so there's no way I'd find it. I'm not even going to bother looking more. But it was maybe in it wasn't September. It was in August time frame. And you get, and I don't know if those last 12 are on Funimation yet, because you had the cable and watch them on the Zora app as well.
As of, well, I think they were supposed to drop today, actually.
And those are usually like a week or two behind. Anyway, what I'm saying is the way they're dropping, they're getting further apart. Because like I remember seeing, there's like almost 8 something of Wano loaded, and then it was like, oh, now it's in the 900s. Oh, it's up to and then they went up to 1,000, did 12 more. I just don't know how that's going to keep up, and I don't know. I don't know if they're already dubbed, if the Actors Guild strike affects them at all using or not really American actors, but some of them, So there's a lot of questions. I just feel like it could be delayed. Stop researching it because
we are up to episode 10, 12 on Funimation.
Okay. I sent you off on a research attack there.
Yeah, you did. That's all right.
So I don't know. We'll see. So we're going to review up to 112 or 1012. We've seen a good bit we've seen the arrival at Wano. We've seen the reuniting of the Straw Hat Pirates. We saw a nice little group of Zoro and Luffy together, saving a village, learning more about the past, Orochi's stuff, his group. You see a little bit of the Pirate Alliance, and now we're, I think, on the raid on Origashima, which we're in kind of like the end game now.
Yes.
So we're kind of getting there. It's just going to take a while. So the start of this was them arriving in Wano, everybody reuniting. It was interesting to see where all the Straw Hats had like new names, new jobs. Robin was a geisha, Sanji was a cook, Sanjuro, Zoro Joro, all their weird names that they had.
Frankie was a builder, construction guy.
Yeah. All that stuff. And then right away, as soon as Luffy gets there, he starts making trouble.
Mm-hmm, of course.
I forget the little girl's name that he rescued.
Otama.
And she has a weird ability where she like pulls her fucking cheeks off and then people eat it. And then
it's like she makes like little mochi balls out of her cheeks.
Get with the mochi though. They're obsessed with that shit. Very strange. Very strange power. Kind of a gross power.
Yeah, it's powerful though.
Yeah, because she controls people with it.
Well, not people, but she controls anything that has an animal.
And then you see in Wano, there's these weird devil fruits that probably came from the Smile Factory that are like, everybody has like a belly of something.
Oh, yeah. Those are the, what are they? The gifters, I think is what they call them. So the Smile Fruit users in Wano, like the ones that Kaido is giving out, there's...
That they made artificial devil fruits.
Yeah, the Smile Fruits that he'd been buying from Doflamingo.
Mm-hmm.
And there are 2 categories. It either works and you get a power, and they call those people the gifters, or it just fucks you up and makes you laugh uncontrollably. And those people are called the pleasures, I think.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. But yeah, if it doesn't affect you, or if it doesn't give you a power, it just completely fucks you up, and you can't do anything but like smile and laugh. You could be like, the most horrible thing could happen to you, which we see a few times during this arc.
Yeah.
And all the people can do is sit there and just laugh about what's going on.
Yeah, it's really fucked up. Like what they're doing to these people. It's really messed up how bad like Orochi has these people, like in the torturing that he's doing of them.
Yeah.
I forget the guy that's like the guy that can't stop laughing, and he's like helps everybody in the town. That's the one girl's dad. What's his name? Fuck.
So I've had some trouble with the names in Wano because they are very Japanese names. And it's been a little difficult for me. He was one of the former daimos of Wano country, and
yeah.
He was an ally of
the smiling guy. He's a homeless dude. Everyone thinks he's an idiot, but he was an ally of Odin. Everyone knows who he is if you've been watching this along. So they introduced a lot of those people. You get all of like Odin's people. We talked about Odin on the last show, so I don't want to overtalk stuff again. But it's really is how they start bringing back Odin's the nine samurai, because they've all been separated, and you see where they've all been, what they've been doing, how they're reuniting all of them, putting them all back together. But every time they try to do something, it's almost like Orochi's one step ahead of them.
Yes.
So that's when the whole traitor start talks. I really enjoyed the Zoro and Luffy reunion. I thought that was really good.
That one scene alone. So if you do any researching on One Piece, or you look at any like fan theories or anything like that, there's a really dumb one that I see a lot, that Zoro is really just playing the super long game, and he's going to wait until Luffy becomes the king of the pirates. He's going to turn on him, and he's going to get the bounty, which is one of the dumbest theories I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's not the case.
And if anything, that one scene where he and Luffy reunite on Wano is proof to me that that's absolutely not the case.
Yeah, where they're so happy to see each other.
That's like one of the first times you see Zoro smile after Marineford.
Yeah, it's good. Their reunion's good. All that stuff. When they start, I thought it's interesting that you then find out that some of the worst generation pirates, like
Basil Hawkins,
Apu, and X Drake.
Oh, X Drake.
Yeah, that they kind of, instead of signing on with Kid, because you remember when you first see Kaido and he falls on that island, they're having like a worst generation pirate meeting there.
They're trying to form an alliance.
Yeah, and then Kid's the one that gets his ass kicked by him and gets taken over. But the others join him and become like his retainers, and they work for him. They're
top
performers. Yeah, and they're all there. They're all pulling out his task. I hate Basil Hawkins. He's such an annoying character. I hate the way he talks, but he has control over Straw, which is a weird thing. Makes a straw man. It's all like straw themed stuff.
Yeah.
And his mystic powers that he has. There's a lot.
I don't think is part of his devil fruit, though. I think
he practices dark magic.
Yeah.
And he uses it to like enhance his devil fruit powers, So it's different. I like when Luffy gets the samurai sword, and Zoro's like, "You don't even know how to use that sword," and they start fighting over it. "Yes, I do." "No, you don't. Give me that sword before you hurt yourself." And he just flings the sword out. He's hitting people on the wrong end of it.
Yeah, that typical Luffy. Luffy.
Pretty good stuff there. Pretty good scene showing just how powerful the two of them have become too. Where Sanji included, where they're taking people on, pushing back against these people who have never been pushed back against before.
Yeah,
that was good. I don't remember how Luffy gets. Oh, okay. So now I do. So right away when we go into here, you get a Luffy versus Kaido right off the bat.
Yeah, it's like he's been on the island for like a day and a half, and Law is so pissed off.
Yeah, because that was part of the plan at all. Law wanted to run. Law wanted to hide. They weren't ready. They didn't want to blow their cover. And I mean, it's pretty impressive when you see Kaido the first time, and he's that dragon flying around that whole city.
Yeah.
And Luffy gets a couple shots in, but you can see at that point the power level's not even there.
Yeah, it's not close.
Yeah, and he gets taken out, and that's when he does the Thunder Bagua on him. I can't remember people's names, but I can remember Thunder Bagua.
Yeah.
It's such a weird word. And he knocks him out, puts him in sea prism cuffs, and they bring him to the prison. Another part that I thought was good in there is Sanji, when he's fighting page 1, the Spinosaurus gets to use his raid suit finally.
Yeah.
That
was a cool scene, but the name is stupid.
Yes, well, he doesn't want to go by Stealth Black, which is the real name. Instead, he goes by Soba Mask because he's.
Well, no, the Stealth Black. It's not even like that's the comic book character name that he doesn't even want to go by.
Yeah. He goes by Soba Mask, but it looks cool. I mean, that's a cool scene when he's like, "Go on, I'll handle this," and he pulls out the raid suit.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were gonna ever see him in it. That was all good stuff. I enjoyed all that. I enjoyed all those early days of them fighting there. Another scene I think is phenomenal is when we were talking about the guy, the homeless man that's like smiles all the time with his daughter. Orochi publicly executes the dude.
Yeah.
Which is crazy in front of everybody, and everybody in that town's just laughing because they can't control themselves.
Baka Town.
And they're told by law, don't get involved, don't get involved. And then the girl, they're going to kill his daughter. Orochi shoots at the daughter, and the minute he shoots the bullet at the daughter, they show, which I thought was shot perfectly, they show that close-up of Zoro's earring move.
Yep.
Just moves a little bit, and you see like Sanji's feet move, and they, of course, slice the bullet in half, knock the thing over, and they go right into action, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
And then they start arguing with each other.
Of course.
Of course. But yeah, all that stuff's good. When they finally start, I really don't understand yet what Law's up to, because he had a plan, and then he always has his own plan.
Yeah.
And you're not really sure what
as much as doing. I like Law, and as much as I like the Alliance, he yells at Luffy for going off half-cocked. Law doesn't go off half-cocked. He just has his own agendas.
He does. He has a lot of his own agendas, a lot of stuff that he does on his own. So, the prison arc then. You get to meet Queen.
Yeah.
You find out that Kid was captured.
Yeah, because they were dumb and threw Luffy in the same cell with him, which they should have known from the beginning to keep those two apart.
I like when those two are just like outworking everybody in the prison and like because they want all those free food passes.
I saw a thing on TikTok that actually analyzed how much weight each of those blocks was, and based off of the story, how much weight they moved in one day. And between the two of them, it was like 137,000 tons of granite in one day.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. But then Kid ends up escaping, but then he gets captured again.
Yes.
And this time with Killer.
Yeah. Who we find out was given a smile fruit, and now all he does is laugh.
And that's a really good part where he like can't stop laughing, but then he's so strong that he also fights through that.
Yeah.
So he can talk normal with Kid, and every once in a while he just lets out one of those weird laughs. Yeah, where he's like holding it back. Killer and Zoro have a good fight along the way there.
Oh, dude. I don't remember that.
So remember there was the guy on the bridge that was like sword collecting?
Okay, I do. Before it was revealed that he was Killer.
Right.
I didn't realize that was Killer.
Yeah, before it was revealed he was Killer, Zoro meets that guy on the bridge, which this was an interesting part because you knew in Thriller Bark that when Zoro fought that samurai zombie, that zombie was from Wano. That's the first time they mentioned Wano. And you were like, how did he get here? And then they teach you in this arc about Gecko Moria landing on Wano, attacking Kaido, losing, and then stealing that zombie's body with that ancient sword. That sword was wait, I just had that sword written down here.
It's the pride and joy of Wano.
Yeah. And of course I can't find it now. I just saw it too. Oh, Shushui. Shushui. So Zoro will give it up, and he's like, there a bunch of stuff goes on until he finally realizes that it's so important to Wano, and then Odin's daughter was using Enma, which was Odin's sword. It's the sword. It's the only sword that ever cut Kaido.
Yes.
And she tells him, give that sword back to that guy so that, he can be happy and the sword returns home and I'll give you Enma. And as soon as he holds it, he's like, oh, yeah, I want this sword.
Yeah, because it like starts to drain his goddamn life force.
Yeah, and he can work with it, And I like that she gave it up even though it was her dad's because she knew, like, this guy's way better than me.
Yeah.
Like, this guy actually might have a chance at hurting Kaido with it, not me. So that was all a cool part. Yeah, and that was Killer. Zoro had to put that, like, sickle in his mouth because he didn't have a third sword at the time, remember?
Yeah, that was weird. That dude was, like, knowing now or finding out that was Killer, it kind of makes sense. But I was like, what the hell is this dude fighting with dual like scythes?
Yeah, it was a strange part, but it was good. That part was good. So yeah, you have all that stuff happening. In the prison, we get to meet Queen. We see how Queen works with poisons and toxins.
Very similar to Caesar Clown.
Yeah, it's just not coming out of his body like a weird fucking devil fruit power.
He has the
Queen is a weird dude. I mean, the singing, the performing. He's a big, like, fat guy. He's real weird. Turns into a brontosaurus or a patasaurus or whatever saurus it is. He's a weird guy.
He is a very weird guy.
Everything's like being a lead performer. Everything's like a show with that dude. Everything.
Yes.
So yeah, that
puts on daily concerts for the prison staff.
Has his special soup.
The red bean soup.
Red bean soup. So that's another topic. Is all the while this happens, the Big Mom pirates come looking for revenge. They want Luffy.
Yep.
They come to Wano. They get fucked up by King. So Kaido has his 3 top performers, lead performers, are like deck of cards. So he has King, who's the top, then Queen, and then Jack. Jack we saw on Zoe being Jack the Drought, the guy that killed all those minks and cut Dogstorm and Cat Viper's arms and legs off and all that other fuck up stuff that he did. So, and they kind of combat with each other a little bit over who wants to be the top person. King being a pterodactyl, and then Queen being that big long-necked dinosaur, and then of course Jack is a woolly mammoth. Everybody has like dinosaur-themed powers on here. So many dinosaur-themed devil fruits.
Well, if page 1 is a Spinosaurus.
Yep, his sister is like a...
Ulti is a Pachycephalosaurus.
Which
is basically just the dinosaur with the big... It's like... Its skull is like 5 inches thick, and it just...
The big bone on its head. Yeah. That does the ramming and everything.
There's a Triceratops.
There's a lot of them. The part up to here, like when they all start getting together and are figuring out what they're going to do, this would have to be one of my favorite like events in a row in a One Piece show. Is Luffy and the gang go do their thing. They're trying to like get back to their boat, get all their stuff. They're going to go to Origashima. They have all these plans. The plans start all going to shit, and then they're like, "There's got to be a traitor." And then I thought that scene where they revealed that it's Conjuro was fantastic.
Yeah, and it was like I never picked it up, and like in hindsight, we should have picked it up right away.
I mean, the guy looks like a bad guy. So the minute you saw the guy, I thought Conjuro is definitely a villain. Like, look at this guy. But then, like, he does all these nice things, and he draws stupid pictures, and the things he draws that come to life look real dumb, and like he's just playing them, but he also plays us, because like you fall for it. You totally think like, well, Conjuro is just weird looking, but then when they show the flashback stuff, and you see like he's this dumb kid, and like you're like, no, he's with them. And then you're like, wait a minute. Conjuro boiled in oil almost. And like, like he was right there with them. I'm like, there can't be a traitor amongst them because they were going to die in flaming oil. And like, who's that into it, But when they revealed it in the past that they gave a devil fruit to this person, we should have picked that up then. Because like Conjuro was the only one with the devil fruit.
Yeah.
But they make you think Kinemon has a devil fruit because he could do that change your fucking clothes thing that he does.
I thought that was a devil fruit.
Is it?
I think so.
All right, I wasn't sure. You're gonna go research again. I'm giving him research. Stop researching. So
he has the Fuku no Mi. It's a paramecia.
All right, so it could have either been the two of those two. But when he says like, Keen, we got to figure out who this traitor is, and he's like, because he's sitting right here, and he like to show you that smile, and then you realize that the fucking guy's like so into his art form of acting that he was willing to die in a pot of boiling oil for his role.
That was like his final like stage bow. He was looking forward to dying there.
Yeah, he's gonna take it. He's just gonna go do it, which was crazy. Crazy stuff there. But then he kidnaps Momo, and like you're just like, wow, this has all gone to shit. And then they like turn it around, and I think the episode's called "The Worst Generation Attacks," but I think that's fantastic. That
Oh, that
part,
episode, yeah, when they're heading out and like everybody shows up, yeah, that
because
was a great scene.
the samurai are stuck on that boat. They don't know where they're going, and then like they just lost Conjuro, they lost Momo, and then all those pirates show up, and like the Straw Hats attack them first. Then Law shows up. Then Kid shows up. All three of those guys jump out, start doing their moves while they're yelling at each other.
Yeah.
And I mean, they do. Like Law turns a boat upside down and wrecks it. Kid wrecks one. Luffy goes fourth gear. I mean, it's just like
Well,
the animation in that sense is so awesome.
I think I sent you a message. Like I was like, oh, so we're just going straight into fourth gear now. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, it's like nothing now. Now it's just something he does, you know. But yeah, it was great. I mean, all that, and then they give you an icing on the cake where fucking Jinbei shows back up, wreaks havoc on everybody, piloting the ship, and you're like, yes, fucking boss Jinbei's here. And the way Luffy swings over and hugs Jinbei is so wholesome.
Oh
like
yeah.
Like Luffy, he gives his hey Zoro every time he sees Zoro, other people like he does stuff, but every time he sees Jinbei, he hugs him. Yep. Even though Jinbei's in the water most of the time, probably smells horrible, swimming around being a fish man, But
I loved the reaction from Law and Kid when Jinbei's like, "I'm just a fledgling on the new Pirate King's crew," and they're just like, "What?"
Yeah, that's great though. All that stuff's great when because the rest of the crew is like, "Oh, Jinbei's here now," and then he shows Frankie how to drive his boat, and he's like, man, dude, you were born to be on this boat. Like,
yeah.
So they're complete. It's a good sense of completion. That's like the 10. That if you think about that, that's almost 1,000 episode callback to when Luffy first said, "I'm going to need a crew." 10 sounds about right.
Yeah.
He doesn't get 10 till almost over 1,000 episodes later.
Yeah.
Close to 1,000 later, which is nuts.
Amazing.
Yeah. Then you have the assault on Origashima, which is the capital. It's where, well, it's not the capital. It's the island off the coast of Wano where.
Well, we did skip a little bit because we started to talk about it and then we got off track. But so after the Big Mom pirates get fucked up by King, Big Mom washes up on the beach of Wano and doesn't know who she is.
Yeah, for like a couple episodes she forgets, and I didn't like this part.
I was annoyed as shit because it was Otama and Chopper and who else was there? Was it Otama or was it the other girl?
I don't remember. It was a bunch of Chopper was with him too. It was a bunch of like all these fucking annoying people thinking Big Mom's okay, and Chopper screaming every time he sees her. Every time she looks at him, he gets terrified.
Yeah.
They did that on and on and on and on.
But basically what they were trying to do, once they realized she didn't know who she was, they were trying, and they gave her the sweet bean soup or whatever it was, red bean soup. And she really liked that. So that kind of almost became another Hunger Pang episode.
Yes.
But they were basically trying to direct her at the prison to help break Luffy out, because they figured if Big Mom went in there and started wreaking havoc, they would be able to get Luffy out of there. And it kind of backfires on him because Big Mom remembers who she is.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah, eventually she remembers who she is, and after acting Big Mom is a character in this show that I do not like.
I don't either.
Like I am a big fan of so many of these villains. I love Kaido. I love Doflamingo. I think King is so cool. Like just the way he is. Like there's so many cool characters they have. The Big Mom pirates in general annoy the shit out of me, except for Katakuri. Katakuri is the only one I really like out of them at all, who had a coolness about him. He was a badass. His power is weird, but I like Katakuri because the rest of them are so annoying. Peros drives me insane with his lickety. I'd like to lickety throw him in the fucking water. He's annoying as hell. The way he talks, his goddamn tongue hanging out of his mouth. I hate characters in One Piece that their tongue can't go back in their mouth.
And Pero's one of them. There was the swamp dude from the earlier arc that his tongue never left his mouth.
Yeah, the mud guy. Yeah.
And there's another one.
The guy
one of the guys on Veggie's crew.
Yeah, from Capone and Veggie, who calls everybody Lilo. Lilo,
yeah.
Yes, Lilo. His tongue's always hanging out. And Dogstorm and Cat Viper have their tongues hanging out every once in a while, too. Like, right out the side of their mouth.
Dogstorm kind of makes sense. Cat Viper, a little less so, yeah.
Yeah. These sharp-ass teeth. But, yeah, they get the Big Mom Pirates, then, the second time they start coming up, get attacked by Marco, then. So they have a hard time getting there. And the only one that makes it, obviously, is Peros. And he decides to form an odd. It's odd that, like, once Big Mom figures out what she is, her and Kaido argue for a little bit. And then they just are like, hey, we're gonna be friends now.
Yeah, we're gonna make an alliance to take down Straw Hat.
Yeah. And there you go.
Yeah, and Peros doesn't think that Big Mom should do that because, and he's honestly probably right. Kaido probably would have just betrayed her.
Yeah, at some point, yeah.
At some point, but Peros doesn't want to go into this, so yeah, he makes a weird alliance with Marco to go and try and stop Kaido and Big Mom from forming their alliance.
Yeah. Yeah. So after all this stuff and you get to Origashima, they do that nice thing where they break into different groups. They're going to assault the place. Of course, Luffy doesn't listen. He never does. Why they would think he would ever listen. He just takes off, him and Zoro. This part now feels odd to me. So, like, they do this part where they introduce Yamato, who's the daughter/son of Kaido. They explain that she was born a girl, but then she wants to be Kozuki Oden, so she calls himself a guy, and she calls himself. It's this part, the way they did this, I didn't mind it, but what really is like really confusing in here is like Luffy's the first one to question it, who's like, well, you're a girl, like why are you his son? And then she says it, and Luffy's like, okay, he respects her wish, like you want to be called that because you're Odin, fine. But then there's people that have never met Yamato at all. They haven't run into her yet. They haven't seen her yet. And they just start calling her he. Like, I'm like, how do you know that story? Like, Luffy didn't know the story. Luffy was calling her she until she said, no, call me he because I'm Odin. But then she, like, runs into Jinbei, and he's like, oh, he's a hell of a warrior. I'm like, Jinbei, how do you know? Like, that you see a girl with giant tits and long legs running around, and you instantly knew that. Like, I just thought that part was a little silly. Like, they were, like, big on that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you got the explanation, then you know what to say. If you didn't get the explanation, there's no second guessing there when you look at her and go,
well,
okay.
I mean, before she, like, reveals herself, though.
Yes. Yeah, she has that outfit on, you can't tell. But, you know. Now Yamato does that. Luffy calls her Yamato, all that, like a tomato, all that stuff.
Yeah, Yamato.
But Yamato's cool. She's very powerful, big, strong, trying to save Momo. A lot of trying to save Momo. Poor Momo.
But scaring the shit out of him because she keeps calling himself Kozuki Oden.
Yeah, saying,
but
I'm
Odin. Your father!
Yeah, over and over. A real shocking turn in events is when you have Orochi just fucking flipping out about, like, these people are attacking and this is your fault because you didn't finish them, giving Kaido the business, then fucking Kaido just kills him.
Cuts his head off.
Cuts his head right off. And I thought maybe they were going to bring him back because he is like a Hydra devil fruit, but he just...
I didn't think about that, but yeah.
I don't think he had a chance to even turn into that. He just got fucking killed. That was like him saying, like, dude, this is my fucking show, not you. I used you, now you're done with you.
Yeah.
So that part was nuts. You got to meet, who are the are they all called lead performers, like the rest of these people, or they have another name for them?
No, so the lead performers are King, Queen, Jack, and then the worst generation. Drake, Apu.
They have a name though.
Well, no, the Tomi Ropo or
Toby Ropo, that's right. Yeah.
something like that. But I think they
Drake is a part of the Toby Ropo though.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
I don't know where Apo and
I think Hawkins are probably there too.
Yeah. This is where they introduced Black Maria? Is that her name?
Yeah, Black Maria.
Yeah, and the rest of these people, Pepe and all that. You have all that stuff. I think the best part of all of this is, it's cool to see people using their powers, but they start dragging this out.
Yeah.
It's just like them in this lobby fighting these guys. Anytime they go near the hole, King comes down and attacks them. So the Kozuki 9 or whatever they're called, the 9 retainers, they all unite, which is a great scene.
Yes.
They all reunite. The scene when they attack Kaido is fantastic.
Yeah, and that went on for a couple episodes.
He gets a flashback that he sees Odin coming after him. When the 9 of them are running at him, he sees Odin. And his scar starts to hurt,
Yep.
And they attack him. They fight him down in that hole. They escape to the sky. They go fight him, and they're setting up ready to fight him. And then Jack shows up. You have the people from Zoe.
The Minks do their Sulong transformation beat that, just crush Jack.
They almost killed him, Cat Viper and Dog.
I think they did. I think Kaido stepped in.
Yeah. So while that's going on, everyone else is trying to get up there to help, and all these shenanigans just keep happening. And people, the thing that frustrates me with it the most is King comes down, makes an attack, and instead of killing everybody else, he just flies away for a little bit, goes to sit on his perch, and then waits for his turn again. And then it's it's time for Queen to attack. All right, now they'll go away. Now it's time for this one person to attack.
When they got those two giants that came in with the numbers.
The numbers, yeah. Great scene when Luffy flattens one of them. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just been kind of like a big battle now. Everybody fighting, doing their thing. A lot of speeches, a lot of rallying the troops.
Queen popping out those new zombie bullets or whatever they are.
Yeah, turning everybody into monsters. Chopper's working on that as we're currently at. Marco's heating everybody up. But yeah, hopefully we need to get... What I'm really waiting on here is I want to get to Queen versus Sanji and then Zoro versus King. I want to absorb those two first before we get into Luffy and Kaido for the second time. Because that's going to be long.
Yeah.
But it's good. I mean, it's, some really killer animation scenes, some really amazing scenes. We were talking about the numbers. That scene when Luffy, reaches up and grabs the one and, skyrockets himself out, swings around through the other way, wraps himself around it, pulls back towards the guy, turns into fourth gear and flattens him. You're like, holy shit. That.
Yeah.
That is some fucking animation right there. If you look at that scene compared to the first couple of episodes of this show where your mom's currently watching them, you have to be like, man, that's old. Yeah. That's different. It looks so much better.
Yeah, the animation is so different now, and it is so much better.
I like that they kept the original Luffy stretchy sounds, but they added to it.
Yeah.
Because they still do that same kind of whipping sound, but they added to it.
I like the sounds of when he's in fourth gear, and because he's infused with hockey and he's using his rubber, and so it sounds like, I don't know, like a metal piston or something. It
is, and the bouncing sounds very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, there's fights with Scatman Poe and all these other people.
I hate Scatman Poe.
Scatman Poe. I don't know how. He's another one that won't fucking die. Nobody dies. Little raid suit Sanji there for a minute. We forgot to talk about in the beginning this when Sanji was using the raid suit. Remember when he used it when Nami and Robin and Carrot and everybody's in that
the bath?
The bath, they're all naked, and then Nami stands up and her towel falls off, and then you see blood explode because he's invisible in the corner. And he's like, Nami, your body is perfect. She's just,
Oh,
what were you
sorry.
doing in there? So I was hiding. Oh yeah, and then he's like, we better get going. And she's like, you're gonna answer that question eventually. He's like, we gotta get going. They're on our tails. We also forgot to mention Drake. We find out that Drake is actually undercover for the Marines.
The Marines. He's the captain of a kind of clandestine group of Marines that doesn't really report to the Marines, but is part of the Marines, but they're kind of an offshoot. It's weird.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess that from what I've read, that group formed out of the fallout of the War of the Best.
Okay. Makes sense. So I wonder if Drake was a Marine all along, or if he was a pirate before the War of the Best, because he was around.
He's been undercover in the pirate world for a very long time.
Okay.
From what I understand, the things I've read.
I like him. I like when his cover was finally blown. They tried to kill him, and then he landed and was like, "I'm on your side" to the Straw Hats, and they were like, "Fuck you," and tried to fight him. But now they're
Yeah, Zoro doesn't trust him.
yeah, which but he does have what, Kobe reporting to him.
Yes.
Working that out.
So he was a rear admiral, and he defected and formed the Drake Pirates.
Mm.
And what is the name of that group?
Well, this could be all day. You're doing research. But yeah, Drake's cool. Hopefully he's an ally, because they need some allies. They got a lot of people to fight.
Yeah, they do.
And we're on 10, 12, and you got like 50 episodes. It's gonna be a while before you see some of that stuff. But some big fights coming up, like we mentioned, some good stuff there. How do you feel about this arc already opposed to some of the other arcs?
Like I've liked a lot of it. There are parts of it though that I felt like they dragged a little bit.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff on the raid, I think they could have gotten to things a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
We didn't need all of, I don't know. I guess they wanted to they wanted to give Chopper his due and let him be
yeah, they try to give everybody their due. Frankie has a general Frankie moment.
Yeah. Well, Usopp and Chopper have the Frankie battle tank, and they kind of go toe to toe with Big Mom for a while.
Yeah. They drag that out.
Nami and Usopp going up against Alti, and just both of them should have been so dead.
Should have been dead. You take that hard hit to the head, to the nose. Yeah. It was crazy. That was crazy.
I've liked this one a lot more than Whole Cake, though.
Yeah, I do. I like it also because at least the Straw Hats are all together.
Yes.
Where if you figure Whole Cake and Dressrosa, they were separated for fucking years.
Yeah.
Forever
yeah, it's been a long time.
They were separated. So yeah, it's been good. I've been enjoying it as well too. We talked about it already on that. I really liked all the Odin stuff, all the Odin lore, how they're bringing that together. I wasn't a fan of Kinemon before, but I really like him and his samurai and their dedication that they have, their willingness to die to save Wano. You have to respect it. It's really well written, the way they make those characters all come together. And I just don't know who you're going to lose out of that group, but I feel like you're going to lose some of them.
Kiku's already lost an arm.
Yeah.
And the rest of them are pretty much beat to shit at this point.
I like we're about to see Carrot and the other girl, the dog. Wanda. They're about to go toe to toe with. Hopefully they kill Peros. She wants him dead for what happened to
for Pedro.
And Big Mom, obviously We talked about Law being creepy. Well, after Law dropped people off, now he's just walking around on some part of this castle looking for something on his own. He's not fighting anyone yet.
Yeah, I wonder if he's looking for a poneglyph or something like that.
Oh no. There should be one there.
There should be.
Yeah. So yeah. We'll see what happens there. It's interesting. Kaido took a couple hits, but dude's about to go nuclear on everybody, so it'll be interesting how this fight all goes. I think we get to see Snake Man again, which is cool.
That'll be cool.
Because he hasn't pulled that out since.
Yeah, it's been a while. We've seen some. I've seen some spoilers. There's a really cool scene coming up where Kaido and Big Mom are standing. I guess they're on the roof of Onigashima, and they're just kind of standing there taunting Luffy and the crew. They're all like standing up there, and Kinemon is on the ground, like basically dead behind them. And Luffy just walks through him, completely ignores Big Mom and Kaido, and goes up to Kinemon to make sure he's like alive or okay.
Yeah.
And that I saw that in spoilers, but that was badass.
You've seen a lot. Justin now watches so many spoilers. He'll always be like, "Oh, I didn't want to see this," but then he'll go on and be like, "Tell me all about it." Like he did that. He'll be like, "Oh, I don't want you. I found a spoiler. I won't tell you about it, but here's everything about it."
You encourage me.
Here's the whole story. No, there's just I thought Toei had an update. I was gonna say Toei has an update right now about when, but it's a current episode, so. Toei goes back from their basketball anime to One Piece to back and forth over and over.
Jeez.
So this is an interesting thing. 17 years ago, yesterday, was the moment of I Want to Live with Robin.
17 years ago.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
Oh my god.
That long ago. That's a lot.
So we don't have the next set out on Microsoft yet. That was the new prediction for episode 1013 through 1024 is October 3rd.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So 1001 through 1012 released on August 29th. It hit Crunchyroll I think yesterday on the 26th. So it was about 4 weeks between when it hit Microsoft and when it came out. So if 1013 to 1024 does drop on October 3rd, it'll be around the 1st of November before we get it.
Well, we'll probably get it before then.
Yeah, we can get it through that app.
Yeah. Apps that we don't use.
No, because we wouldn't want to
get in trouble.
So
yeah, man, One Piece everywhere right now. My wife asked me a good question the other day. She was like, "Why is this show so popular right now?" And I said, "I think it's always been popular. It's just we weren't living in that world."
Yeah.
I said, "But yeah, it is because it's the right time with the show, with the live action and everything." So, could you imagine if all of this one day was live action?
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna to get beyond.
Like, let's be realistic. The live action show, they're doing a season 2. That's been confirmed. We talk about that on our other podcast.
Yep.
So you're going to see things like, Crocodile, stuff like that. So let's hope if they do a couple more seasons, maybe we can get some Sky Pia, some Water 7, some Frankie, people of that nature. I don't know if it would go on. To me, they would try to end it maybe with the Summit War. And just be like, then the Straw Hats continued on their journey into the new world, and will they find the One Piece? Yeah, I mean, You can't end the show until you end the anime and all that.
Yeah, and that's probably going to be another 5 years at least.
Or you just float them on. Well, I mean, doing live action is going to be even longer than that.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I mean, they're not going to have, with the writer strike and all this other stuff. With the writer strike is now over, so that they can write these scripts out and have them all ready to go. Hopefully, the Screen Actors one goes sooner.
Yeah.
You're still not going to get this to like
2026,
2025 if we're being happy and lucky.
Yeah.
But it could go further than that. So you think that's season 2? If you're waiting 2-3 years between them, which maybe they won't, maybe they'll get into used to producing them faster. We could be looking at 20 years of this show, which that would be hard to do because they're going to age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Inaki's going to look older.
Yeah, you got to start, if you want to do like many multiple seasons, you're going to have to like start shooting stuff back to back to back.
Yeah. And then fill in special effects after.
You almost got to film it like a freaking soap opera.
Yeah. Yeah. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's just hope they get season 2 out quicker. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see all that. But yeah, a lot of One Piece stuff out. Everywhere you go, people are talking about it. And when I wear a One Piece shirt in public, like I get so many people talking to me. Like so many people are like, and I'm surprised you don't have a One Piece shirt yet. This far along 1,000 episodes, you don't have a One Piece shirt yet. Like
I just haven't found any I've really liked.
That's crazy because there's so many on TeePublic. You can get anything you want, Zoro, anybody you want, anything.
I haven't found a good sale on TeePublic in a while, and I don't want to pay $26 for one T-shirt.
Well, they have them on Amazon too, which aren't too expensive. That's where I got my Straw Hat Crew shirt from. This is also the guy, people, that spends $90 or $100 per figure of One Piece figures.
No.
Yes.
No.
Don't you know me? That's the truth.
The most expensive one I've bought so far, or I don't even have yet. I pre-ordered the 2 new, the Zoro and Sanji, that are for the Raid on Onigashima outfits, and those were $68 each, and they're on pre-order, and I probably won't get those until 2024.
Okay.
All the other One Piece figures, I've only paid, like, all the other ones I have are the Anime Heroes ones, which are like $19.99.
Okay.
I haven't bought any of the really expensive ones yet. I'm still thinking about it. I want Sabo. They just released a Yamato that's $95. They released a Kaido pre-ordered a Kaido that's $240.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So I'm trying to find a way to feed my addiction without spending my entire life savings.
This is also true. But it's going to happen.
I'm not going to spend my entire life savings.
Anything else with this that we haven't covered yet?
Probably a lot, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. This has been great. There's a lot of awesome stuff for us coming. So I'm just excited for more episodes. I'm fiending. That's why I'm doing all this research, is because I don't have episodes to watch.
I really hope after this is over, and I haven't read a lot. I don't know a lot of the Egghead stuff, Final Saga and Sapphiros, but now that they have a full crew and they all survive, they get through this, I would like to see them on the boat as pirates a little more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you saw that when they roll up and they're on the boat and they're like attacking Origashima, it was nice to see them on the Sunny, like all in their positions doing something. I wouldn't mind if they gave us a little cool down. And I'd take some filler arc after this of them just sailing around, doing some stuff. I need some downtime. You know what I mean?
And I don't think, based on the things that I've seen, and I've tried not to look at details, but based on what I've seen, this Egghead arc is going to be crazy. And they're just going straight from friggin' Kaido straight back into the fire.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Maybe I'll watch some filler movies, Red or something like that.
I definitely want to watch a few of the movies. So yeah, I definitely want to check out a couple of the movies.
Well, Justin is also watching Demon Slayer, so after he finishes a season or two here, did you finish the season there yet?
No, I think I still have a couple episodes.
Then we can do a Talkin Anime Demon Slayer.
All right.
We'll do those. We'll do once you finish your first season of that. We'll do Talkin Anime Demon Slayer season 1.
Okay.
And then we'll get it. So finish those, and then we'll go in because there's only 3 of those, 3 or 4. They're short. Yeah. But we'll break those down by those arcs and talk about those.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Because you got to finish those. I have like 100, maybe less than 100 more episodes of Bleach to go.
Now, how many episodes is Bleach?
Bleach was originally like 360, but now they have like it ended in like 2014. Now they brought it back for 1,000-Year Blood War, and there's only like 10 episodes apiece for those 2 seasons. They shortened it.
All right.
They're in the new anime style now, where you just make a couple episodes a season kind of thing. They're not like One Piece.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm almost done with Bleach. You'll eventually get around to that,
That one I think will probably be later though, because I think by the time I'm done with Demon Slayer and you're done with Bleach, are we gonna go into Naruto?
Yeah, I think that'll be. We'll watch it. We'll do it in arcs or whatever.
Okay. Oh wow, I have a lot more episodes of Demon Slayer for season 1 than I thought.
How many do you have left?
I'm not even halfway through.
How many did you watch?
I'm only on like episode 11.
And there's how many? 20 some?
26.
Really?
Yeah, 26 in season 1.
That's weird. I don't remember it being that long.
Yeah, so I got some work to do on Demon Slayer. I'll try and do that.
Because all you do is watch fan theories.
Well,
That's
no,
all you do.
The last week all I've been doing is playing video
all
games.
You do. Really? What kind?
Starfield.
Well, you could play that and watch Demon Slayer.
I can't because there's so much dialogue in Starfield that I can't pay attention to both at the same time.
There's a lot in. So there's 18 in season 2 of Demon Slayer. Wow. I didn't realize there was that many episodes. There's 55 episodes.
Yeah. But again,
season
I mean,
3 was only 11.
There was a 50 episode One Piece arc that I did in like 4 days.
Well, yeah, that's when you were on crack going crazy. A little different now you've come back down to reality. You'll like it once you get through some more of this stuff in there. Demon Slayer's good. But yeah, we got lots of Talkin Anime for you coming down the road. Stay tuned if you like it. If you don't, then leave. It's fine. We don't really care.
Also, give us some recommendations for other stuff we should watch.
Yeah. Like porn or something, or whatever it is, we'll watch it. We don't care.
All right.
Everyone have a good one. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.